What's good? Welcome to Infinity Newscast. I'm Ta'a.
And I'm George.
Now it's time for Here's Our Bias.
A new study has found that self-identified women are more likely to have alcohol consumption problems if they are rich as opposed to when they are poor, while the opposite is true for self-identified men.
In other words, if you're a poor man, you are more susceptible to having a drinking problem than a rich man.
I don't know if I believe that. I feel like that's just a movie stereotype, because there's always like the rich housewife like wandering the penthouse apartment with a martini glass, and then there's like the hobo in the gutter with a
Yeah,
bag,
it seems like it's like
you know?
it's perpetuating a stereotype, but this is like real analyzed,
real science.
like real
This is
science.
real
We have a
science.
graph somewhere.
You heard it here, folks. Movies are real science.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe everything you hear on TV.
Honestly, every time I see a guy drinking at a bar, I automatically assume they're poor. Because why else would you be drinking?
That seems a little bit classist of you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's PC enough for Hampshire.
No, definitely not. But it's something that we have to keep in mind. Yeah. But okay, now it's time for what you ignored. Dutch fucked up and didn't write a segment this week. We had to get our intern Gareth to do it. So here's that. You're tired now.
Oh, okay. I swear to God, it's like a fucking writer's strike.
How many seconds would it take a common snail to travel from Paris to Beijing? How many fuck-ups will it take for them to give Gareth Dutch's job? Come find out at the Estimathon today from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Cole Science Center.
Looking for what's happening on campus? Dutch might not know, but you can find out on Hamp Engage.
April 7th, come see Div 3 dance concert, Caught Unsteady. We promise it'll be as good as when Gareth was caught unsteady with this last-minute request, but still cranked out an amazing script. Good job, Gareth.
Saturday the 21st, come climb rocks from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with Oprah. Then go see Kay Bushman's Div 3 film, 2 Degrees, Climate Change in Our Communities at 7:30 in the Jerome Liebling Center.
Just like how Dutch's position at Infinity is on rocky ground and the Infinity community could use a change. Thanks, Gareth.
Contact ALK15 at hampshire.edu if you want to double in a mod, because these Div 3s are looking for mod mates, just like Infinity should be looking for new writers. Maybe they should just hire that Gareth guy. He seems cool.
I'm really hearing a lot about this Gareth guy. I've never met him, but he seems fantastic. Dana Maple Feeney has a brand new soda stream for sale. Contact them with the best offer.
I know the best offer I've received is Garrett's offer to actually do Dutch's job.
God damn, we sure love Gareth. He is so competent and people should really hire him.
Check out his resume posting on the Daily Digest, just like you're going to check out our next edition of Why I Ignored It. Or at least why I did. And now it's time for our student project showcase featuring local Hampshire artist Nina Gressel.
Welcome to the show, Nina.
Have a seat. Thank you.
Right down here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So what is it you do? What is the title of your div? How many semicolons does it have?
Well, what I do is sculpture, multimedia, different materials, mostly clay, plaster. I don't have a title of my div yet, but what I am thinking about is understanding thought and behavior through a mindful art making process.
Huh. So
Yes.
can you walk us through like what the process of that and incorporating that into your art? How do you involve creativity in the way that you're presenting your sculptures and your mind thought? Can you kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I'm really interested in is the process of art making and how that process really engages people's creativity, and the way people are creative is an extension of their personality. And the way you're thinking is not just solely with art. Like, the artistic process is not separate from a normal person's like thought processes. So I like to have a mindful way of thinking about my art making, like being present and understanding what I'm doing and why I'm doing that. I'm making these decisions while I'm sculpting. Yeah.
So like the inspiration comes from that thought process while you're working, or does it come to you in the moment?
Yeah, I like to follow, be not judgmental about what I'm making, and just exploring the surface and being kind of like fun and creative and like having a playful way of engaging with the material. Because the way people, if you're creating something new, like a figure, you have to have some sort of understanding of what a figure is. And so this type of way of making sense of the world is translated through you and output into a sculpture. And so that is what I have been thinking about throughout my div.
Cool.
Do you want to go into detail about, this one kind of looks like, from my perspective, it kind of looks like, have you seen Stranger Things? Looks
Yeah.
kind of like it looks
The
like the
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon right here. It looks like it's about to pop out the walls and eat somebody. And then this looks fucking wild. But let's start with
Thank
this
you.
one. Yeah.
Well, this is one of my earliest like sculptures from this year, and I can't tell you where that comes from, but it does. It came from some Demogorgon inspiration. When I started, I have some sort of idea of what I'm going to make, but then I try not to have too much planning because I think that hinders the process and doesn't make it as genuine.
Definitely.
So who are some artists that you're inspired by?
Well, there's a lot of artists on like Instagram that I think that's a great platform to discover new artists, because a lot of people don't have portfolios and websites, and it's a big accessibility thing. I think bigger artists, like I love Dali like surrealism.
That's
I think
exactly what I thought of when I saw these.
like playing with like the form and having these surreal ideas. Like with Dali was really interested in psychoanalysis. I think these types of ways of thinking are, very in line with what I'm doing also.
Yeah. And can you talk about this piece though? Like, I see there's like faces coming out, and it's like it's very realistic in the way that it's like brought to life. And I like, what are the emotions that you put into it? Like like right now I'm seeing like anguish and despair, but I think there's a little bit more that you see into it.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because working with clay is a lot different than working with plaster. So like this is a pretty fast process working with clay. Like I can do something like this in like a few days, but this is a plaster carving. So that took a lot more time and it's a lot slower. So it's kind of like watching this sculpture develop. It's almost like a surprise to me as well what I'm making, because it's kind of like I'm making an action and then I'm responding to that movement of the chisel, for example. And so I'm not necessarily aware of what I'm going to be doing, but I like to acknowledge like if I feel good about what I'm doing, or I can start over if I want, but following that process and that thought.
Hey, thank you for being here. I have one last question for you. If that were to make a sound, what would it be?
That's
you heard it
Different one I thought.
Yeah,
There you
it looks
go.
like it's in pain.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and letting us talk about your incredible artwork.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you
luck
for
with
having
your
me.
div. So you're going to have a show in the gallery on April 29th from 6 to 9. Everybody should be there and see more incredible sculptures like these.
Thank you so much. Hey. Hey. Now we're going into why you ignored it. Hey. Ready Player One hit theaters last week, skyrocketing past $100 million in box office. Critics say the movie was good, except for a disappointing finishing line.
That makes me so mad.
What?
Just that movies like that can make $100 million.
Yeah?
Like, I've never even heard of it. And I'm a film student.
It's
And it made
a Spielberg
$100
film.
million?
It's a Spielberg film.
Spielberg lost his touch.
Yo, he had. Straight up, honestly, when I watch Spielberg movies nowadays, I'm like, Spielberg,
He
Schmielberg.
peaked in the 80s.
Yeah, we got a couple people being a little upset.
I mean, There's lots of good like childhood classics, like E.T. Although that movie terrified me.
Yeah. But
In fact, I don't even want to talk about Spielberg. It's too traumatic. Let's move on.
okay.
HBO is going into their summer of television strong with Silicon Valley on its 3rd episode of their 4th season underway. The Westworld trailer for season 2 was released last week, and the first episode premieres April 22nd. Have you seen Westworld?
I've seen Westworld. I'm still confused. I had to watch one of those like 10-minute YouTube videos where they're like explaining everything that went on in Westworld. Turns out it was a good show. I had watched it, but it's actually a really good show when you actually know what's going on. Yeah.
I've seen episode 2 3 times and no other parts of it.
Yeah, I watched episode 1 3 times to understand it.
Yeah, not intentionally. It just happens to be on everywhere I go. It's
yeah.
following me.
I'm excited for the next season though. Finally, fucking samurai action. Let's go. Just a not so friendly reminder that even though HBO is coming in strong with their summer TV, Game of Thrones' last season will not be released until summer of 2019.
Where's that last book at, though?
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I want. Like, the show's fine. It's not as good as it was, but...
Yo,
like, where's that book? I want to know what's happening in the book.
Deadass, every single person I talk to is like, no, the shows are going so good. No, because they don't kill off motherfuckers anymore.
Yeah,
Everyone lives forever.
It's just fan service.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
But, yeah, where's the book at where people actually die? That's what I'm wondering, too. This weekend, we had the best Hampshire event to ever cross the planet of the Earth, Keg Hunt.
Did you know it was the 20th annual Keg Hunt?
Really?
It was the 20th year that Keg Hunt has happened at Hampshire College.
People came out on April 1st morning. I heard a lot of first years were actually like, is this a real thing? Because it was April 1st, so it was April Fool's Day. They expected everyone to like go out and just like not be there. People should have filled their kegs with like apple juice or water or something.
Oh my god, that would have been too cruel.
Yeah, probably not a good first year experience for Keg Hunt.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We have some highlight footage developed by our very own team. So you get to see us being stupid out in the field.
Yeah, so if you were
let's
asleep,
run the clip.
This is what you missed.
Yeah. People were fighting.
Yeah, fight keg return.
Yeah. Except, I think for some reason there weren't enough kegs for everyone to be fighting.
There weren't that many
People were
kegs
just
this year.
people
There
were
were
just
like
fighting.
8 kegs.
Yeah.
Last year there were like 12.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. Yes, I
Oh, you hurt
I
your
still
leg?
have that scar.
Oh no. I don't even see it.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think it was probably a stick. Something of that kind.
Oh wow, he's getting it.
Yeah, they're really going on.
Why are they even fighting? There's no keg around them
very
right now.
homoerotic. Oh, I'm back. I think at a certain point it just becomes about proving how macho you are.
Yeah, seriously.
Less about
I saw
being
so many people ask me to fight, and I was like, I'll fight for like, for a reason. Like I'm not just gonna fight you for no reason. Like I'll fight you at the fight keg. Like that's what I'll do. But if you're trying to get me out in the middle of the field to scrap, like, nah,
not happening.
not happening. Drop me anywhere else. Like it seems like people were looking for an excuse to fight, but oh shit, he's getting it.
Yep, they're really going for it. They're really going for it. They're just having a good time. That's what Keg Hunt's all about, just having a good time.
See, and the fun facts with the best keg rule. Yeah, that's where you actually learn.
Okay, that you can't say that was you came up with that.
Yeah, I know, that was my
That's
idea.
totally
No,
biased.
why you gotta throw me under the bus like that?
Because
Add a little subtle, hyping
this
myself
isn't
up.
about you. This is about Hampshire College.
Yeah, facts.
This is about the colorful student body that graces this campus with
Yeah.
their presence every day.
Except I feel like I'm seeing
The
the same people. Yeah, the same people like 5 times.
That's because we only have 3 friends.
Oh shit. Cool. Okay, move on.
That's
Y'all
what
can
happened
even
at
hear
Keg
it.
Hunt, and that's
Alright.
what happened at Keg Hunt.
That's what happened at Keg Hunt. Honestly, really excited for next year. you guys, we
Next
have to
year
band
will be
together.
the first year that Keg Hunt will be old enough to attend itself.
Yeah, fact. That means that everybody has to go get in your own groups, get
Yeah,
kegs,
that's the
you
rule.
know,
When
bring
Keg
it
Hunt
out.
turns 21, you have to
Yeah.
go, or you will never become a Div 3.
Boom. And now we have George with the weather.
No, George is me. I'm doing this. We have Maya with Is It Raining?
All these
Let's
names.
find
are just
out.
freaking me out.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm doing the weather. Just real quick off the bat, it's not raining. It's snowing, and I'm incredibly disappointed about it. Let's talk about it. Where do we start? Right here? Yeah. So, not to date ourselves, but this is being filmed Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. It's looking like we got a cloud, and we got some shurikens. We got a high of 40 and a low of 26. So it's gonna be dangerous weather out there. I'd stay like under roofs, otherwise you might get cut up. There's a microphone. Oh, there's another monitor though. There's a head in front of that one though. Sunday, there's a cloud, and there's a small like I think that's a sun or either a sun or like a bear claw behind it. So maybe also dangerous, but I have a slightly better feeling about this one because the high is 40. It is April, by the way. No, you're not crazy. It's just been dumb weather. Monday though, we got another one of those clouds with a bear claw on it. We got a high of 47. So pack that picnic, climb up a mountain, sit in a hole, but enjoy the sunshine while you do it. Tuesday, we got wet clouds. A little drenching, but highs of 45. So maybe go sing a song in the rain, find a puddle, find a boot, and splash around. That's my advice. And kicking off, I can't really see that far. Now I'm walking off camera. Yeah, thanks, facts. Wednesday though, sunny, high of 47, low of 32. That was pretty bad. Thursday, wow, we really came full circle. High of 53, low of 35. You know, guys, I have a good feeling about it. I think it's gonna be. I know y'all have been feeling it. Not a great week, but soon. I think it's happening. What do I announce now? Do we have a musical guest, or is that in a little bit? Huh? Poetry? Oh, yo, we got poetry. Yo, guys, get ready for some poetry. By what? By Ta? Is Ta doing poetry? Oh my gosh, y'all, we're in for a treat. Thank you very much. Ta with poetry.
I'm actually not doing poetry, but Med is. Please welcome Achmed Dagny with a very inspirational and very impactful piece. Here you go.
All right. This piece is called Drunken Late, NYC Subway State. 23rd and Ace, I walked from the north end to the museum. This record was laced with the bitter taste of a late date, the tardy party being me. Cigarette in my hand, I type out the excuse, but really it's no use. There is no excuse. I'm late and you had to wait and you've been done waiting. See, the problem for me is I fall in love too easy. Every black woman I see captures the raptures, the sun in my eyes. I feel like the universe pulls me, whispers to trust the symphony that rings on my delicate heartstrings. And when I fall, it is like all the atoms of my beings are closer to seeing the long-lost stardust lovers of dead atoms. Ripped apart from the start of time and explosions past. But here I am, late again. I know what I need and I know what I want, but I project what I want till the image in front of me is distorted by me, is all that I breathe. My breath is ragged because I failed to make the crimson wine date. Maybe the train was late. Maybe I'm lying to myself so I won't remember I'm late. Each board flashes and I cringe at the light, for today hasn't been so bright. In fact, I didn't feel much of that consoling inner light. Today was a day I wondered why my soul continued to fight. I played games while I waited for the 2 train on the way home. Drink when I meet any of the feelings that aren't glad. Drink when I smoke. Drink when I joke. Drink when my phone beeps to tell me it wants to die. I drink when I wonder which text was the lie. I drink when the couple kisses and they play serious face games. I drink, I think, I drink while I wait. The bubble that is this shell in my brain scratches at my name, claws at my hair. I can't tell if they're talking about me or my brain is playing its own sick, twisted game of chess where I go last and each move is misplaced. In the end, I don't know what it matters, all the same. All I know is she isn't here, the one who can walk the serpent's path and come forth whispering a mighty roar, the one who can get me on the right train on the wrong stop. A magic staff with an amethyst ball of light. Dear angel, please hear my weeping.
Thank you so much for that piece, man.
Of course.
Hope you had fun on the show.
Oh, yeah, obviously. No,
Yeah.
I love it out here. Thanks for having me, of course.
Thank you
of
for
course.
taking time to
Yeah.
come down to our cave.
No, of course. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity. Honestly, being able to express my work as a black poet is really important to me. I write for other black people, so it's really awesome to get the opportunity to put my work out there. So I really thank y'all.
Is there anywhere else we can find your work?
I will be putting up a website later on this year, so not at the moment, but y'all will be able to tap in soon enough.
Dope.
Keep your eyes out for that.
Keep your eyes out for this guy. Gonna make marks. Definitely.
Catch y'all later. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Now we have a Hampshire Tiny Desk segment, or mini desk rather, from Haley Gray and Ailey Verdell.
Hi, my name is Haley Gray, and this is Ailey Verdell. We are going to play, I guess I would call it an acoustic version of one of the songs, which remains untitled, for an album that we are putting together with a band that we have. Yeah. Okay. Never told me it would feel this way. 20-something change is on its way. Losing my friends, can I go home again? Could not predict it would unfold to such a bitter end. Home is an airplane, I fly in the blue. Lost in both cities, the feeling is mutual. Love is not something they can warn you about. It's to my heart, yeah, ain't to my self-doubt. Love is not something they can warn you about. It's to my heart, yeah, it ain't to my self-doubt. Never told me it would feel this way. 20-something changes on its way. Losing my friends, can I go home again? Could not predict it would unfold to such a bitter end. Home is an airplane, I fly in the blue. Lost in both cities, the feeling is mutual. Love is not something they can warn you about. It's to my heart, yeah, into my self-doubt. Love is not something they can warn you about. It's to my heart, yeah, it ain't to my self-doubt. So if you go, keep going. Oh, if you go, keep going. If you go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, my friend. If you go, keep going. If you go, keep going. If you go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, my friend. told me it would feel this way. 20-something changes on this way. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. That was amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Everyone, that was our show. I hope you join us next week. Yeah, have a good life. Peace out.